Hi, I'm Heidi Hewitt, AutoCAD Technical Marketing Manager at Autodesk, and I'm here with John Bordeaux, Assistant Professor at Kankakee Community College, south of Chicago. John, when you teach your students about animations and working in AutoCAD to create renderings and walkthroughs, flybys, how is it that you decide, or how do you advise your students to decide between using a walkthrough and a flyby? And can you kind of describe the difference between those?
Yes, generally a walkthrough is usually in an architectural setting. We're walking through a building, and we're usually at, a 5-foot elevation where we're walking along, and that is what we're seeing. In a flyby, we are actually up like a helicopter or a bird. So we're changing the elevation in the z-axis. So the difference between the two is generally architectural models. If we're walking through the inside of the building, is a walkthrough. If we want to go around the outside of the building, we're doing a flyby.
Because you wouldn't want to be walking through the building and changing your elevation too much. You
No.
might hit your head on the ceiling.
Yeah, unless you're going up and down the stairs.
There you go, okay. All right, well that's good advice. Thanks, John. Is there anything, other best practices or tips that you can add?
Well, we want to, when we're doing a walkthrough or flyby, we're actually very controlled on what we see. We're looking straight ahead all the time. And so it's generally more like playing a video game where we're moving back and forth and we're seeing with our movements. So usually this is very a jerky type of an animation. But this is very quickly done, and it works best when we're working with our client. We can sit down with our client and we can do a walkthrough or a flyby on the spot very quickly and easily with our client. And so that's very helpful so that they can visualize things, because they played video games too, so they get the idea.
They get the feel for just kind of walking through their space.
Yeah, and a lot of times they'll actually say, could you go in this room or could you go in that room? And you just turn and go into wherever they want to see. So it generally works best with, a more dynamic meeting with your client. So it's generally what do they want to see? So you're sitting down and say, do you want to go through the building? Well, let's do a walkthrough. If you want to see the outside, we'll do a flyby. And so it's very, very
flexible
jerky.
Is kind of what I'm hearing. Flexible as far as on the spot kind of choices about what to see.
Yeah, it's a very fast way of making an animation, but it is kind of
not realistic.
Not very realistic the way we would normally see things or do things. It's more like a video game in some respects. So it's this is where we're looking, and that's what we're looking at down the end of the hall. We see all the way down the end of the hall. We're not looking side to side very much. And then if we want to turn, now we're looking this way. So the walkthrough is, I always tell them, it's kind of like a robot walking down the hall. So they have to just decide, where you're going. That's pretty much it.
Well, we'll be looking for your advice on how to make it more realistic for what they're seeing.
We'll get to that.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks, John.